Hey guys, hope you're doing good. Now, what if I told you that there's a way for you to create 100 plus high converting video ads, YouTube shorts, Instagram reels, you name it, in less than 24 hours without even having to touch a camera? Now, before you guys go ahead and call me crazy, let me introduce myself. So, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Sebastian, and I spent the last 2.5 years working with multiple coaches, consultants, and agency owners, and basically helping them scale their revenue and their appointment setting infrastructures. Now, during that time, I was responsible for generating over $1.4 million in sales and booking over 100 plus calls with qualified prospects month after month. Now, over the span of those 2.5 years, I was lucky enough to work with every sort of agency from, people stuck below 20 to 30K per month, all the way to the top 1% of the market, with agencies doing over 500K and 600K every single month, including client acquisition, who a lot of you guys might know from Serge Guattari. Now, enough of me talking. Let's actually go right into this. So this is a $10 million secret that content creators don't want you to know. And just a quick side note, this is the exact same process that I use to create this entire VSL, is through the exact AI system that I'll be showcasing in this video. So just so you guys know how powerful this thing is. Now, like I said, over the last 2.5 years, I worked with multiple coaches and agencies, and my mission was to just identify what makes these businesses tick so that I can recreate that into all of our clients' businesses. Now, I kept thinking, like, how is it actually possible that some of our clients are doing over 500K every single month consistently, whereas others are stuck below 20 to 30K per month and can't scale past that? Now, contrary to what most people believe and what I used to think as well, it wasn't actually the sales process. It wasn't a matter of like how good the closers are. It wasn't a matter of how good the quality of the leads is. It wasn't even a matter of like how good the appointment setting process was itself, which is one of the main things that I used to help clients with back then. And just so you guys can see, like I kind of attached like a screenshot of the process that we were using, the appointment setting process, because it was pretty much the same for all of our clients. Now, obviously, depending on the offer, there's going to be some customization, but overall, the process is still pretty much the same. And that made me realize that like it's not actually a matter of how good the process is. It's not a matter of how good the sales are, but it's actually something else. And the main difference that I noticed between our smaller clients and the ones that were ultra successful was actually just the content that they were putting out, right? I realized that no matter how good your appointment setters are, no matter how good the process is, the one key factor that actually determined how good and how successful the appointment setting process was and how just successful the business was as a whole was just the quality and the quantity of the content that the business was putting out. Simply put, like if you can just create enough traffic and generate enough attention on your social media, the rest is just a walk in the park, right? I mean, just so you guys can understand this, imagine how easy it would be to, book sales calls with prospects on a profile that has 1 million followers that engage with you constantly, as opposed to, on a brand new profile with 0 followers, no audience, nothing. Obviously, it would be way easier when you actually have an audience, when you have people watching your content. That's exactly why I chose to dive deeper into this problem so that we can actually begin to fill in the whole gap for our clients. And the main problem with today's market is that, if you're a business owner, you probably belong in one of these two categories, right? You're probably either entrepreneur A, who creates 0 content and just relies on paid advertising, sales, maybe referrals, word of mouth, etc., right? And I mean, we all understand how wrong this is, but there's still a lot of people not creating content, right? Or your entrepreneur B, who understands the importance of content, is putting himself out there, which is great. But a lot of the times, the problem with this is that you actually spend all day creating content, and you kind of end up neglecting other parts of the business, which might need your assistance. Now, I want to go over why both of those are actually equally just as bad. So entrepreneur A, who doesn't create any content, I think all of us guys know that, we're living in an attention economy, right? We've heard it a million times over. I'm tired of hearing it. I'm tired of saying it, but it's the truth. So if you're not putting yourself out there right now, if you're not creating content, it's going to be very, very hard for people to actually trust you when there's so many people giving the same offers to, your target audience. So that's the first thing. The second thing is that a lot of people don't even know that you exist, right? If you're not putting yourself out there talking about your offer, a lot of the times people don't know that you exist. They don't know what problems you solve. So, obviously this is a huge problem. Now, the third thing is it's going to be really, really hard for you to compete against everyone else who is putting content out there, right? Again, we live in an attention economy. When everybody's posting content and you're not, you're going to be left behind. And then the fourth thing is, again, we're in an attention economy. If you're not taking advantage of it and posting content, you're going to end up spending a lot of money and making your business less profitable by just burning through ad spend or just spending a bunch of money on, outbound setters, etc. Now, if you're entrepreneur B, again, there's a couple things wrong with that. So one of the main problems is that you actually spend a lot of time creating content, which is great because it's super important, but content creation actually kind of becomes like a full-time job for you inside of the business, meaning that you have just less time to focus on other key aspects of the business that actually need your help, right? That's the first thing. The second thing is that a lot of the times you have to do market research yourself, which can take hours and hours of your time. And it's overall just not a high leverage activity. You'd be way better off doing other things to, improve your business. The third thing is that a lot of the times we try to reinvent the wheel instead of looking at, content that is proven to, do well and succeed. We're trying to reinvent the process and reinvent the wheel by posting our own stuff and trying to innovate. But a lot of the times it doesn't really work. The fourth thing is that a lot of the times we also start talking about things that interest us without necessarily, our market resonating with that content and actually being interested in what you're talking about. And then the fifth and final thing that I see a lot of people do is that you're usually going to optimize either for views. So you're going to try to create viral content, or you're going to try and optimize for engagement. So you're going to focus on, not necessarily getting as many views, but really talking to your ICP and trying to just give them as much value as possible. But very rarely do I actually see people doing both, which obviously you do need both, right? You do need to get new people knowing about your stuff, and then you also need to give them value so that you can get them to trust you. And a lot of the times people either optimize for one or the other. I very rarely see people doing both. Now, knowing just how important this problem is and how this was a differentiating factor between, my clients, I decided to come up with a solution for them. And I kind of want to walk you guys through this entire thing. So before I go over this, let me kind of explain how this works, right? Now, this is your typical kind of like content creation process where you do everything manually, right? So what you do is you go ahead, you do your market research, right? You get caught up, start doom scrolling for like 20, 30 minutes. Then you find a couple good topics. You create, some different ideas, some different topics for posts. Then you kind of go, you create the scripts, right? You create the hook, the body, the CTA. Then you go ahead and create that content, like you actually record it, then you edit it, and then you review the content, and finally you post it, right? Now, there's nothing wrong with this. It just takes so long to do and it's not efficient, right? Now, this is the new way that we're actually creating content that is both faster and more efficient. So we're going to leverage AI to basically do everything for us. So the AI is going to go and do hundreds of hours of research in a matter of seconds. Then it's going to come up with some topics. It's going to create the scripts, and it's actually going to record the content using a clone of your face and a clone of your voice. So it actually does everything, right? From the market research to creating the topics, the scripts, and then even recording the videos for you. And all you have to do is you just take those videos that it spits out and you just edit them, right? And now we actually have a trained editor who doesn't even need your input. You basically just give him the clips, he edits everything, puts everything to life, and then all you have to do is just review the content and post it. That's literally it, right? So it only takes a couple seconds. Now, I know it may seem a little bit confusing kind of seeing this. So I'm actually going to walk you through exactly what this looks like in real life. So let's do this in real time. Now, this is basically what you're going to have to use is you'll have this form, and all you have to do, by the way, if you guys are wondering why it says client acquisition, like I said, we're working with Surge. So this is kind of like the form that we're using for client acquisition. So all you have to do is you basically go through this form, right? You answer these questions. What's your name? What's your email? Who do you help? What service do you provide? You kind of just answer these questions, and then based on the answers, it's going to go ahead and do all the market research for you, create the scripts, create the videos and everything. So I'm actually going to go ahead and pause this video just so I don't waste your guys' time, and I'm going to see you in a couple seconds. All right, so I just filled this out. You guys can kind of go ahead and pause, read through the whole thing if you want. Basically gave a quick overview, helping agency owners doing less than 100K per month in revenue scale their business through content and paid advertising. And then, yeah, I said we're leveraging AI agents, etc. You guys can kind of like pause and read through the whole thing if you want. Now, all you have to do is just answer these couple questions. It's super simple, super easy. It takes a couple seconds, maybe like 2 minutes at most. And then you just click submit. And once you do that, it's going to do all the rest for you. So it's going to do the market research, is going to create the topics, the scripts, and then it's also going to use your AI clone to go ahead and create those videos. So while it's doing its thing, until we get kind of like the results of the market analysis, I kind of want to walk you through how this entire thing works, right? So this is kind of like what we used as the foundation to go ahead and create this AI system. So in terms of strategy, this kind of the flow that it's based on, right? So it reviews the information that you give it in the form, then it researches Instagram and YouTube, etc., to find like the topics and everything. It creates the unique angle, creates the branding strategy, creates the traffic and generation, nurturing and converting strategy, creates the Instagram bio, the IG story layouts, and then creates the KPIs. If you guys want to go through this whole thing, you can kind of like pause and read. I'm not going to go through everything because there's just so much. Now, in terms of the creatives, it kind of like creates 3 to 5 content pillars. It then creates and lists 5 possible content types, lists out 50 topics and 25 subtopics. Then when it comes to ideas, it researches the top 25 best performing creatives. It reviews the client's content resources. It dumps 30 to 60 ideas, finalizes and creates 30 of those content pieces, and then creates the framework for what's discussed in the video. And then when it comes to scripting, creates like the first draft and everything with the unique angle, etc. Then it goes ahead and creates the final draft, writes a storyboard for how the editor will bring everything to life. And then that's basically it. So again, if you guys want to pause and read through, this is kind of like what we used as the foundation to create the system. And then this is what it looks like inside of Make. By the way, all of this was built on Make. So this is kind of like what the whole thing looks like, right? This is a setup. So the entire strategy outline and customer analysis and everything is done right here. This is what it looks like inside of Make. This is stage 1, where it creates the VSL, the ads, and the website copy. This is stage 2, where the long forms are being created. And this is stage 3, where you get your first 10 long form ideas and 5 short form. By the way, all of these are done simultaneously. It's not like stage 1, stage 2, stage 3. It's, as you can see, this is like the full build overview. Everything is basically happening at once as soon as you put in your information into the form and fill everything out. And then once you fill out the information, you'll get an email with everything in there. So I'll show you guys right now what this looks like. All right, guys. So as soon as you get the results, you're basically going to receive an email just like this with all of the basically the inputs that you added into the form, and then you'll get a link to a Google Drive. And then in here, basically you'll have all of your outputs. So here's the in-depth analysis over everything that you added in the form. So you get, performance metrics, you get view count patterns, right? So 1.7 million views for agencies scaling content versus 165K for e-commerce. Title performance, right? So you get some insights on the best performing titles, effective hooks to use, story arc, pain points, engagement triggers, key takeaways and recommendations. You guys can kind of pause and go through the whole thing if you want. Market sophistication mapping, so technical term, frequency, etc. Unique approaches, key takeaways and recommendations, client differentiation analysis, AI-driven content creation, automated video production, key takeaways, etc. Script framework recommendations, so financial outcome focus, personal journey, early and frequent, and again, some key takeaways. So again, this is the in-depth analysis. Now, imagine just how long this would actually take you to do all by yourself, to come up with all this data and find the most effective hooks and all these things. Whereas you can literally just put it into a form, you can add a little bit of information and get all of this in a matter of a couple minutes into your email. And then you also get your ads. So you get the ad copy right here. So this is the ad copy that you're going to use for your ads. Then you get an entire outline for your VSL, right? So you got your title, you got your hook, problem introduction, solution, presentation, credibility building, offer details, etc., right? Call to action, guarantee. So that's your entire outline for your VSL. And then you get the website copy as well. So you get your headlines, subheadline, and everything, call to action. You get all of this again in just a couple minutes. It takes you like a few seconds to fill out the form, and then a couple minutes for this whole thing to arrive into your email. And then you'll also get some content. So here you get 10 long form ideas. So you got, idea number 1. So you get, your relief to break, main content, transition, etc. You get idea number 2, number 3, number 4, etc. So you get 10 of these. By the way, you can get more, so you can customize how many you want, but for the purpose of this video, we just do 10. And then you also get 5 outlines for long form videos. So a couple posts that are basically, you get the entire outline, right? So key arguments, everything, transition to pitch, implementation framework, and everything. And then you get like 5 of these, so you can go ahead and expand on these and create some more long form stuff. And then short form, you get 10 short form ideas right here. And then you also get 5 outlines for short form. Now, in this stage, like in stage 1, it basically just creates these, right? So it creates the outlines, the ads, the long form, short form, topics, and everything. Now, this is the exact same stuff that your AI agent is actually going to use to go ahead and create the videos itself. So it's going to take all of these, it's going to take the market analysis, it's going to take the topics, the ad copy, everything, the outlines for the posts, and it's going to take that. It's going to take your AI clone with your face, your voice, and everything. It's going to go ahead and create the videos for you based on all of this information right here. So you guys can just imagine how long it would take you to create all of these, to go through the entire market analysis, create 10 long form ideas, 10 short form ideas, and outlines for short form topics, outlines for the long form, and then also take those and go ahead and put them all together into the video, right? So you also have to record the videos, you have to shoot everything, or instead you can just go in here, you can go into the form and just fill out some really basic information, and in a couple minutes you can literally create all of these. You can honestly, in a matter of minutes, create content for the entire year. For the entire next 365 days, you can create content in a matter of minutes, which, in real life, if you had to do that, by yourself or even with a team, it would take you, months of work. So this is pretty much how the system works. Now, this is kind of like stage one with content creation. Now, where do you actually go from here? So you actually have three options from here. So the first option is you can kind of like ignore this. And, if you're not putting out content, you can ignore this. You can be like, fuck that. I'm going to stick here. I'm not going to create any content. I'm going to keep focusing on sales, etc., doing outbound, and basically get wiped out of the competition in the next couple months, right? That's option number one. You can choose to ignore this and be like, I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing, and basically get wiped out by this system. The second option that you have is you can try and compete with this. So you can try and be like, you know what? I don't need this. I don't need AI. Let me go ahead and just keep doing my own content. And you can spend all day doing market research, creating videos, looking for ideas, topics, etc. And basically spend all day trying to compete with this when it can literally create an entire year's worth of content in a matter of minutes. Now, good luck if that's your plan for, seeing success and scaling your business. Or you can go for option number three, which is you can look at this, you can leverage this, put it into your business, and go ahead and destroy all of your competition in the following months and scale past all of them. Now, if you guys want to actually see this and see how you can leverage this and implement it into your own business step by step, then go ahead and click down below where you can actually book a quick 30-minute walkthrough session with either me or someone from my team, and we will show you exactly step by step how you can go ahead and implement this for your own business so that you never have to worry again about what to post. Is it going to perform? How am I going to scale my business? How am I going to get more people knowing about my offer? How am I going to get them to trust me? You can get all those answers solved in a matter of seconds with this system. So again, if you guys are ready to kill it, just so you know, your competitors are probably seeing this. So if you want to be the first one to implement this into your industry so you can go ahead and crush it, then again, click the button down below. And I'm looking forward to speaking with you. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.